The Kraken got its nickname from Icelandic navigators, who said they saw a monster twice the size of their ships. Ancient mariners blamed it for almost all their wrecks. According to them, the monster could easily drag any ship to the bottom, or break it in half. Was he really there, and what are the dangers of encountering this mythical creature? The very first mention of the Kraken was in the 18th century, when a very famous navigator began to convince everyone that he had seen a monster that sank a ship that sailed only a few meters away from him. According to his description, the creature was as big as a small island, so the ship was easily dragged away. The man was also convinced that the Kraken was responsible for numerous shipwrecks and losses, although at the time many thought it was the work of pirates. Scientists claimed to have found the body of the monster on one of the coasts, but one was much smaller than eyewitnesses claimed. Scientists said that the creature had simply not yet grown. In the 19th century, fishermen said they saw the huge creature rise and fall in the water, creating terribly large waves that overturned their boats. After that, the men hunted for the monster and swam to the place where they had last seen it. Fortunately or unfortunately, there was nothing but fish. Many scientists who had not seen it in person argued that the species could exist, just a mutated squid of 30 meters. Others argued that fishermen saw just a big whale or a huge fish, that a 30-meter squid simply could not exist. But how can one deny the fact that it was that a large number of people from different countries were talking about it? Many claim to have seen the Kraken face to face. There is a theory that the Kraken is just a big cluster of mollusks, because they have such a feature to gather in a pack. Agree that squids look as if they are not from our planet. They can reach great lengths and still squeeze into the narrowest crevices. Only 5% of the world's oceans have been studied so far. What might really be in there we can only guess. And it seems to me that there is something more terrifying in the ocean than a huge squid. There is a legend that a huge English ship in the mid-18th century, sailing to the shores of Iceland, literally went through like a knife through butter into one of these monsters. As the crew members claimed, an island was floating on them at high speed, the collision with which almost turned out to be a wreck. And fortunately, the ship turned out to be strong. But what is the Kraken? A mythical creature, a real sea monster? The first confirmation of this was at the end of the 19th century. A group of fishermen saw a huge animal on a shoal that had run aground. The dead body of the Kraken was taken to the nearest scientific center. During the same decade, 6 more similar bodies were found on the shores of different countries. According to scientists, they began to swim on land and died because of a disease unknown to science. So many animals died in those years. One of the first to explore the Kraken was an American zoologist, who called it a giant squid. So far, the largest squid found is 16.5 meters long. Squid with a length of 20 and 30 meters are not confirmed by scientific data and real facts. They also found suction cup prints on one of the whale that washed ashore. According to the data, the creature that left such footprints could be about 25 meters long. Recordings made in China in 2006 and in 2015 show us a squid that can only sink a boat, but not a ship, so the Kraken question is still open. I believe that a large squid with a length of 20 or 30 meters could have existed. Perhaps it still exists because our ocean is huge and has not been explored at all.